Okay, we're back at times 3, and it's a beautiful Thursday afternoon in West Hollywood, and our regulars are here. Harry Northup on the left, and of course the always ebullient Don Sherman on the right. And
well, the reason we're here, we have no place to go.
That's it. We've been kicked out of the Spoon.
Kicked out of Silver Spoon, and they gave us a couple of days here. But
we're displaced people.
Displaced, but we're trying out different cafes.
But this place is a nice place.
Yeah.
This place, person from this place.
This place or
you
that
don't say
place?
This, you say this, right?
Yeah, this or that.
You have excellent pronunciation. You really do. You never say this or that.
Well, sometimes people in the Midwest, they lose the T's at the end. I remember going to New York and people would pronounce every T, winter, very super articulate.
Internet instead of internet.
New York must have looked very wild to you coming from the Midwest, and then not seeing a building. All of a sudden you're in this metropolis here.
It was as high as corn.
It's an elephant's eye.
New York's an education. The museums, the movies, the theater, all the different...
he says museums.
All the different types of people.
Museums.
Yeah.
When I went to New York, there was Harvey Keitel, Jewish, Don Calfa, Italian, Victor Argo, Puerto Rican. They were all my friends. So I learned a lot, from the, culture in New York City. And plus all the education you learn, the theater, right? And the movies. And people are fast. The thing I found about New York, sometimes I used to think people were cold and they didn't care in New York, but then that's just their manner.
You remember that scene in Crocodile Dundee when they get separated in the subway and they can't find each other?
That's right.
And the people actually passed him and her over to bring each other. That's the way they got no time for niceties in the life there. So
yeah, you got to move it along,
Really okay. Once the chips are down, it's something that seems to band together. But once that's over, goodbye. It's like New Year's Eve, right after the ball drops. It's the most. It's so happy. Everybody's hugging and loving. 45 minutes later, then they're right back to New York.
Well, when there's a snowstorm, people are helping each other out in emergencies.
Yes.
When there's a blackout.
Well, it's got to be a real emergency. They got to put you. You don't stop a guy from slicing bagels by anything. You got to tell him there's a flood.
What do you mean slicing bagels?
Oh, who's working?
He's working. Or slicing pastrami. He's over at Cat's Deli,
Pastrami's gotten so popular.
Isn't it?
You know where the best
pastrami
pastrami
like American
is?
now. It used to be at the time when
it was Italian,
Just Jewish. No, pastrami's Italian.
No.
Pastrami, Italian.
Jewish, isn't it?
I don't know.
Well, you get it at the Jewish deli, but
okay. Langer's supposedly makes the best pastrami in America.
Right.
They had a whole page in the New Yorker about 2 years ago. That's a
Langer's.
Jewish deli.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
I always thought it was a Jewish
came from.
delicacy.
You know more about that.
Well, what
than
is
me.
it made from? Regular beef?
It's
Pastrami?
just like
it's
cured.
beef. It's cured
like
beef.
Brisket is cured.
Cured of what? What did it have to be cured?
No, well, it's like pickling it. Yeah, cured of.
Gee,
It's cured of Gentilism.
How do they cure something? You know.
The rabbi
David,
comes down and cures it of all
You
its
have to do
ills.
penance.
David, you know how they cure. You know everything. How do they cure
You
something?
start thinking something bad, and
I
then
asked David. When did your name become
give
David?
you a shot.
Well, you get
Changed
your.
his name right in the middle of the show. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Don't you have to have a lawyer to do that?
Well, you get your bag of curing spices and your vinegar,
What do you
and
mean by curing spice?
well, there's different spices that you put in to cure for corned beef, for example, or
really?
cure for brisket. It's different spices, or you cure it for
So
pastrami.
you put spices on the meat, and then what do you do with the meat to
Soak
cure
it.
Don't you
and it's like a
you smoke it
marinade.
or something?
Yeah, it's soaked.
So you just let it lay in there.
Yeah, I get it in for overnight at a minimum, maybe 20 hours or so, and it cures. Yeah, so now it gets
That's
that
why
flavor.
wonderful
Yeah, the
taste.
wonderful flavors all the way through the
Rich.
meat.
Pastrami's rich.
Oh, it's rich. Yeah, I mean,
You got to be rich to eat it. They cost you a fortune for pastrami.
yeah, you're not going to be a thin guy eating that stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's.
I could eat a
Is
half.
it fatty? Is it,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well, it's
more
got to be fatty, and in order to have the flavor.
Yeah,
And
but
like you never go to Katz's Deli and order lean pastrami; they'll throw you out.
oh no, they trim it for you. You're kidding? The mavens, the
You'd
experts,
think so?
They go in there, they want it trimmed up. My mother, when I brought her out from the Bronx and I go to a deli, I go by a deli, and I hear someone screaming, Give me the other stuff. That's for the cats on the bottom. You got the. She nailed it right. They were trying to get rid of the, what they wanted before they got. And she demanded that stuff without the fat. Trim off the fat, because it also adds weight.
Well, of course. It also adds weight to your belly.
That's cholesterol too.
Yeah. Cholesterol.
But there's good cholesterol and bad cholesterol.
Well, that's certainly not the good cholesterol. That's
Yeah.
for sure. That's not the good.
Bad cholesterol is nasty stuff, right?
Yeah.
What is bad? What food is a bad cholesterol?
Ice cream
Pastrami.
and fried chicken skin. Fried
Chicken skin, yeah.
There's a lot of that.
Why is
fat.
ice cream bad?
All the stuff you love to
Yeah,
eat.
I don't know why, but there's a lot in there.
It's
When
the bad
When I
cholesterol.
start watching my cholesterol, the two things I stopped doing, I stopped eating ice cream, I stopped eating fried chicken.
And you increased milk and sugar.
Yeah, it's all right.
Oh, you've done yourself a lot of good.
I use low fat.
What a swap you made in
Low
life.
fat milk.
Low fat milk, yeah. Well,
Low fat, no fat, skinny milk. You know skinny milk and fat milk?
You mentioned trim earlier, trim the pastrami. When I was in the Navy, there was a guy who used to say, I'm going to go get some trim.
Yeah, the girls,
well,
girls were-
yeah, that's something else there.
You notice this,
Harry.
if you go back and check how many shows did we do already?
46.
Not one show did he not deviate something really far away and tied it into sex.
Well, yeah.
And this is a Midwestern
That's a healthy thing,
Puritan-
right?
Well, it is. It's something they do all week, not on Sundays, but during the week they're allowed these
Did you know that
off-color jokes.
I read somewhere that it's the obligation of the Orthodox Jew to make love on Friday night. Is it not the proper thing for a Christian to make love on a Sunday?
On a Sunday?
Sex, I say.
Well, you're supposed to be at church. So
but you can't
with
be
the
there.
family, I
Hey,
mean, so you can't
Remember when
be.
the old guy meets the old woman at an elderly care home, and she says to him, let's go upstairs and make love. And he says, which one do you want to do?
Let's go upstairs. Funny.
Hey, we got Don laughing.
That's like the cow joke where the old cow is talking to the young cow, and they see these female cows. He says, "I'm gonna go down there and make love to all of them." He says, "No, let's go down there and make love to one." I forgot the joke.
Oh no.
So old. I forgot that.
You know what the first question elderly women ask elderly men in an elderly care home?
Why?
Do you drive at night?
Yeah, because the old people don't want to drive. I don't blame them.
Do you drive at night?
Yeah, I drive anyway.
Yeah. Well, my father-in-law, 101, God bless him, he's not driving at night anymore.
101.
Yeah,
I
he-
read that article about him.
Yeah, isn't that great? Yeah.
Ned Rose.
You'll only drive in the daytime.
On Manhattan. I'll never forget when we met him at the Friars Club, and we were exhausted already, and we finished. We were saying goodbye to him. He doesn't hail no cabs.
Oh no,
I'm
no.
gonna walk to the railroad station. 101 years old.
It's only 20 blocks.
You
What the
can't
heck?
even wheel me to the railroad station
Yeah.
at 101 years old.
Railroads go like this. I was thinking of taking one, but they move like this. If they were steady, I'd take a
Oh
train.
no, they're steady. Oh,
got that vertigo.
You never take the train ride once from here to San
Dramamine.
Diego.
Just take some Dramamine. Put on some sunglasses and
Can you
you'll be
guarantee
okay.
me I get a window by the ocean side?
Yeah, you just got to pay an extra buck and get first class. Oh, I used to love that. It's all along the coastlines. And you see those people at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, those surfers, and they're out there diving into the waves.
You ever surf?
No.
You ever skateboard?
Jews, how many,
Skateboard,
how
yes.
many Jewish surfing stars have you heard of?
Or skateboard fanatics.
Have there been many Jewish surfing stars or bungee jumpers? Not popular.
A
Yeah.
friend of mine, he's a
imagine
music
it-
journalist, and he says you go to a basketball game, there are 20,000 Jewish guys watching 10 black guys play. Well, that's what he told me.
Yeah, but there's a lot of black guys in the audience too.
Yeah.
Well, imagine explaining to your Jewish mother that you're about to go bungee jumping. I mean, what would that conversation be like?
See that one where the string broke?
I did.
And that girl went into the water.
She
and
actually
she's still
survived.
smiling, and I bet she's going to go out and do it again.
Well,
She broke her collarbone, but
oh yeah, I think so.
that's a weird thing to leap off a cliff like that.
Yeah, with a piece of rubber attached to your ankle. I don't.
But I guess they want to defy life, so instead of let life intimidate them, they want to get the jump on it.
Yeah.
You remember what Steve McQueen said in that one movie?
No.
The guy jumped out of the 8-story building, and on each floor, they heard him say, "So far, so good."
So far, so good. Yeah.
That's an old joke. We probably
It's like,
repeated ourselves, right?
how about the...
Yeah, it's on show number 32.
Remember they used to do the old beatnik jokes, hippie jokes, where this beatnik, they jumps from the top of a 15-story building, lands and splatters himself on the sidewalk. Another beatnik is walking by and says, "Safe."
Yes.
Well, there were two beatniks in a jail, and one guy kept saying, I want mercy. No, I want justice. I want justice. And the guy said, "You don't want justice, you want mercy."
Yeah, and she's only 5'10".
Justice is mercy. You don't want justice, you want
Mercy.
mercy.
Whenever you're in trouble, right, you want mercy.
Well, is that supposed to be a joke or just a poignant saying?
Well, you brought up beatniks. That's all I could think about, beatniks. There
Yeah,
were two
it's
guys
like-
walking across New York. This guy, Ray Johnson, a happening artist in the 50s, and he was carrying a bag of groceries, and he dropped it in the middle of the street in New York City, and there was the coffee all spilled out on there, and he looked at the guy and he says, "Coffee break."
It's like the classic joke that I think started was about the guy goes up to a musician on the street and says, "How do you get to Birdland?" And he says, "Practice, man, practice."
Well, New York City, you spit one way, you hit a junkie. You spit the other way, you hit a musician, right?
And how do you hit the actor?
Well, you know what the guy said about Hollywood? Walter Winchell, he said in Hollywood they shoot too many movies and not enough actors.
He was a sweet guy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Did he ever write you? You got a lot of mentions in columns, right? Earl Wilson, Walter Winchell.
Yeah, well, was it? Who was it that he was the one that said that I was relaxing as a tranquilizer, and I never knew whether that was an insult or a compliment.
Well, relaxation's a good thing.
We used to wait every night at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning by the newsstand, and then the papers used to come in. Walter Winchell was hanging around there.
Now, when you were doing like the Cope and all that, would Maben come and see you there? Would you come and see him there? Would you
Of
sit?
course, she had to be there. She's my moral
When he worked
support.
at the Cope, I was pregnant.
That was my wife talking in that quiet southern demeanor.
Would you guys be doing shows at the same time in New York City? You were
There's
doing
not-
Broadway?
There were many.
Because I was pregnant.
Oh yeah, by that time she was into
Was that
child rearing.
mid '60s?
There's 1961, I played the Copa. No, 1962, I played the Copa. In 1961, I married this lady, and we just had our 50th wedding anniversary.
That was a wonderful event. That was perfect. Everything that night at your event, it was perfect, right?
Yes.
Right.
And Maben,
She was the most perfect thing.
you were beautiful. You were
She was
incredibly funny.
beautiful. Don't make
I'm
me
not
look-
pregnant.
I'm not beautiful.
Huh? What energy!
You're
She
not
was-
pregnant, and you're not going to be
What
pregnant.
vitality! and
Not
what-
by me. I refuse to get her pregnant again. I told her after 65, no more babies.
No,
No,
that's it.
that's it. 65 is
Well,
out.
you have one lovely, talented, successful child.
Amy Sherman Palladino, creator of the Gilmore Girls and many, many wonderful.
Well, great
projects.
genes too. You two are so talented, and you produce a very talented.
And
woman.
her friend married a Gene Wood.
Gene Wood. Dum-dum-dum.
How many genes do we have in the human body? Anybody that can answer that question off the bat. Don't we lose genes and get genes, or genes are a certain amount of genes you're born with, and that's
You're born with them. That's
So
it.
you don't make any new genes.
No, I'm
you don't,
sorry.
Or genes don't die on
But
you.
who knows? They may,
No, your cells die on you, but your genes are your genes.
but who knows? In the future, maybe they will produce new genes.
Well,
When
they
did you
can.
join the show all of a sudden like that? You jumped in.
Yeah.
God bless you. She has such a sense of authority. My wife is here. Well,
What is the secret between for you two to have such a successful long marriage?
love. We just love each other. We're not
You
too
both
crazy.
stay in great shape too.
We're not too crazy about
Determination.
everybody else. but we
Determination.
love each other.
So is that the word of the day?
No,
What's that?
here's the-
Terminate?
I was going to come up. I think it was my turn.
Okay.
Okay.
Numinous.
What?
Hello?
Say it again.
Numinous.
Like-
Numinous.
like-
It means divine.
Really? Numinous.
Maven is a numinous person. You're a numinous person.
Luminous. Maybe there's a
Numinous.
Numinous.
That too. Numinous. David, Judy, Holly. Numinous. Divine.
Divine.
Well, that's awesome.
That's a better word. Let's close with divine.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, thanks once again. Harry
you,
Northup,
David.
Don Sherman, and myself, David Lloyd Glover. I wasn't mentioned earlier, so I'm
David Lloyd is always
giving
here.
my
He's
own
the-
pitch here.
The producer, the backer,
And the camera
booker.
guy.
In case you want to get on this show, it only costs
you're
you
not the producer
$100
anymore?
to get on the show.
You're
That's
not the
all.
producer anymore?
No, he was always the producer.
Okay. Bye-bye.